Let's go now to explore some basic design, formatting tools, and more, on the ribbon menu tabs. The Home tab contains the Draw field, which includes tools for drawing lines, polygons, circles, arcs, and more. In the Modify field, there are modification commands, such as copy, rotate, cut, mirror, expand, delete, etc. We will look at some of these in more detail below. If you wish to display all the tools of a field, click on the title. You can also pin the menu for continuous use. The Layers field contains commands for creating and managing layers, which is a very important tool for the proper organization of projects. We'll say more about that later as well. Proceed to the Annotation field to enter texts, dimensions, and tables. The next field is about creating and editing block objects, which are a composition of objects that are usually repeated several times in a drawing, such as a door or a chair. From the Properties field, we can edit the properties of lines, such as color, style, thickness. Next, we find some auxiliary tools such as calculator, grouping and distance measurement. Finally, we have the Clipboard field with the copy, cut, or entity formatting for copying properties from one object to another, and paste commands. The Edit tab contains the Modify field, where there are many of the modification commands we have already mentioned. We will focus on the Offset command for creating parallel shapes. The Scale command to enlarge or shrink objects, as well as the Break tool for segmenting objects or making them one by using the Join tool. All commands in the Draw Order field are also very useful. These tools let you arrange the display hierarchy. Often, for a clear drawing, you need to send the hatches back and bring the text and dimensions forward. In the Draw tab, you will find the Construction Line command, which allows us to place design guides in the model space. The Entity Snaps are used to attract specific points of an object, such as the center or the end of a line. It is a very important feature for design accuracy and workflow. In the next tutorial, we will analyze how the entity snaps work and discover all the options they offer. In the Insert tab, there are again all the block-related tools, as seen in the Home tab, and continue to the Open Xref and Xref Manager commands. Xref is really important, as it allows us to import several drawings, without overloading our master file. At the Xref Manager window, there is a complete list of all the files we have imported and other options like checking their status. You can find commands for importing files into the interface, such as DXF and PDF files, at the Insert tab. In the following tab, in addition to text input, it contains more complex dimensioning tools, as well as leader tools. The Layout tab includes all the layout printing commands, which we will see in more detail in another tutorial. On the View tab and the Navigate field, there are all the navigation commands. Zoom and Pan are very useful for focusing and moving within the drawing area. Real-time zoom is also performed with the mouse scroll, while the Pan command is by pressing the scroll wheel and dragging the mouse. Also, Constrained Orbit and View Manager are used to navigate in 3D environment. The top-down menu includes all preset views. At the Model Viewports field, you can divide the drawing surface into sections, allowing us to view our design from different angles. It is possible to specify the visual style in a three-dimensional drawing through the Visual Styles field, such as wireframe, realistic, etc. Set more visualization settings for the materials and lighting by the rendering field. A very important command is the UCS, that is, the ability to modify the axis system by the user. This new system can be based on a single point, the world coordinate system and more. The start of the WCS is at the bottom left of the drawing area, where you can see the coordinate system icon, which shows the positive directions of the axis. When activating the Properties command, a tab is displayed to the left of the screen, where you can view in detail all the current properties of a selected object. An important tool of the Developer tab is the Load application, for importing Lisp files. They are applications that speed up standard processes and optimize workflow. In the Settings tab, you can view the general settings of a file by the Options command, as well as the parameters for selecting objects through Selection settings. The Output tab is associated with file export commands, like exporting in PDF format with Publish PDF command, or printing and previewing. The Page Setup Manager command includes all settings for printing. Save and Save As can be found in the title bar and the main menu. Continue to the Tools tab, where we will focus mostly on two commands. The first is the Distance command, which calculates the distance and angle between 2 points. Next is the Area command, which calculates the area and perimeter of objects. Move on to the Express Tools tab, where there are a number of auxiliary tools, like the text editing for quick adjustments. The last one is the Add-Ons tab, which contains commands related to file conversions. The ActCAD converter converts files in other versions for compatibility. Then we can convert a PDF to Xref format, while the Raster to Vector command converts an image to a DWG file. The ActCAD block library tool contains a great library of blocks, while the Unit Converter tool is a unit conversion calculator. The Import CSV Points command allows you to import files produced with CSV points. Next, we see the License Transfer command, which releases a license to enable it from another computer. Finally, Open PDF and Edit modifies the properties of a file, before importing and converting it into an editable format. These were some of the basic commands that we need to know. Return to the Home tab to open an existing floor plan to examine some of the features, as well as additional highlights of the ActCAD program.